way that I think about it is that NFTs are about scarcity. I mean, if they're not scarce, then there's no real reason to use NFTs, in my opinion. And so it's really about scarcity. And so when I think about what should be scarce, right? Because I think part of technology is abundant, right? Is to kind of make it unlimited, right? Like for example, like every single person on planet Earth can like watch a movie, right? Playing a new movie, like watching, I don't know, whatever, like Titanic, right? And I think everyone should be able to watch that movie effectively for free, and they can do that because of BitTorrent and piracy, or they can purchase it on whatever thing they want, and pay for sort of that convenience. But I personally believe information should not be scarce. Information should be free. And so I believe, for example, that music should be free. It should not be scarce. Everyone should be able to consume it. And by the way, this is what has happened. Has already happened and played out in the music industry. Music used to cost money, and now effectively all music is free. If you're paying for music, you're choosing to pay for music. And the way the artists make money is via scarcity, which is concert performances, merchandise, and attention, right? Like meet and greets and things like that, right? All of these are kind of scarce sort of things that they're able to do. And I don't see that going away. And so I think when I look at NFTs and things like that, I sort of think of like, well, these sort of the things that are scarce will remain scarce. They've been scarce before the internet existed, and they will, be scarce like 1,000 years in the future. Things like time and attention. And if that's the case, then NFTs I think will be really great fit for all those sorts of things, right? So for example, like, a plot of land is very scarce, right? And so I think a plot of land will 100% move into the crypto land. Like that makes total sense to me. I own a house in Portland. I have some, a title, but the title even, it's not even technically like no one knows who owns the land. Like the America is a very weird place. We just kind of went and conquered land and took stuff and and like it's a very kind of complicated thing. So when you buy a house, you're hoping that you're buying it from the person who actually owns the land, but you don't actually know, and which is why title insurance exists. You need to get insurance because there may be a case in which someone shows up and says, "Hey, actually, here's some proof that I bought this land from this person in 1842, and therefore you didn't know it. It was never on the sort of state register." And that's why you have to kind of get title insurance. And so I think all of that stuff, when you can have the sort of idea of provenance, I think makes a ton of sense. And I think all of that stuff will kind of move on chain, quote unquote, sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
There's some problems with that. For example, securities laws, right? So it's not you don't get a lot of the value that you'd be able to get from DeFi if you do that, but I think you'll see a lot of that. And then I think ownership is still pretty interesting. So while I don't think music NFTs will work in the sense that people will buy an NFT and that NFT will allow them to consume the music, I think NFTs will be used by musicians in order to build community, to have scarcity, to do these kind of meet and greet concert, things. And there may be some sort of convenience value to it, right? Where if you have the NFT, then you can like consume it in their, custom app or, wallet player, etc. I do see that, but I think of it kind of like Spotify, which I think it's like people forget that you can pirate, anytime you pay for any digital thing, you're choosing to pay for that. Because this is all available for free on the internet, right? Especially if it's non-interactive. If it's interactive like a video game, you might have to pay. Like we haven't figured out a way to do that, but that's going to change too, right? And like soon everyone will be able to play any video game ever created for free. And this is just the nature of everything, right? We used to think that like building software was valuable and IP and patents were valuable, and now we know that like they're basically useless. Like no one is really, no startup is valued based on their kind of software portfolio. I think that's actually a really great thing, because I think inherently like these sort of trademark IP things are inherently unfair. It's kind of who showed up first gets access, right? It's like who showed up first gets to own the land, right? By planting a flag in it.
Yeah.
So that's that's how I think about it.
Yeah, I like what you said about bringing the music NFT full circle, talking about scarcity. And I agree that I don't think that music NFTs really answer a need in terms of consuming music, but talking about ways that NFTs can allow creators to create deeper connections and engagement opportunities with their fans.
You're listening to the Unstoppable Podcast, the go-to place for everyone to learn about the latest innovations in Web3, NFTs, and the decentralized web. Welcome to the metaverse.